Hello friends, welcome back. In previous videos we are discussed some introductory part related with optical activity. As all you know very well, the some basic concept required for the optical activity, that one is called as the plane polarized light. What is PPL? You know, after passing that monochromatic or ordinary light from the Nicol prism, then resultant light vibrate in only one plane and which have a single wavelength, then such light is PPL. And as all you know very well, when such a plane polarized light after passing through certain organic compound, then that compound have a property to rotate that light either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, then such phenomenon is called as optical activity. As all you know very well, the necessary and important condition for the optical activity, that molecule must be asymmetric, or that molecule must be contain the chiral carbon. As all you know very well, if any molecule which contain the chiral carbon, then such molecule is called as the chiral molecule, and if molecule is chiral, then at that time that molecule is optically active, and such molecule is called as the chiral molecule. Now in this video we are going to discussing the next and very much important part of this topic, that one is called as the configuration, because after completing the configuration we require some preliminary definition for this topic, that is enantiomer, diastereomer, homomer, mesocompound, racemic mixture, resolution. All these concepts also very important, and definition of these are the very important to your syllabus. Once if you know the configuration, then definition of remaining things become very much easy. So see toward the board. Now what happened in this case? Now today we are in the part of stereoisomers. This is very interesting part. Listen very carefully. Now which are the important aspects are related to this phenomenon? The important aspects is like this. Now as you know very well, what is the configuration? What is the configuration? Listen very carefully. You know, in configuration system we have two nomenclature system for the optical isomer. One is relative configuration, another one is absolute configuration. For your syllabus, relative as well as absolute is very important, but absolute is more important than the relatives. Now what is the meaning of relative configuration? What is the meaning of relative configuration? Listen very carefully, dear student. What is the meaning of relative configuration? Relative configuration is also called as capital D and L nomenclature. Capital D and L nomenclature. What is the importance of capital D and capital L nomenclature? Because you know very well what is the meaning of dextrorotatory. Dextro means what? When plane of PPL are rotated toward clockwise, that is right hand side, then such isomer is called as the dextrorotatory. And when plane of PPL rotated towards anti-clockwise, then that isomer is called as the leo-rotatory. But this capital D and L is something different, and this nomenclature is very important in your biomolecule topic or biological or biomolecule, for example glucose, fructose, etc. Now dear student, what is the meaning of D and L? What is the meaning of D and L? Suppose we have an organic compound. समजा मी जर तुम्हाला suppose I am CH2OH, and here what? Suppose CHOH and here CHO. Suppose we have one such aldehyde. Now my question is this: which carbon is the chiral carbon? This carbon is the chiral carbon. Why this chiral carbon is chiral? Because this carbon attached to 4 different atoms or groups. This carbon attached to here aldehyde, here hydrogen, here OH, and here CH2OH. Therefore this carbon is chiral carbon. Now while writing the D and L nomenclature, listen very carefully. While writing the D and L nomenclature, you represent this D and L nomenclature by using Fischer projection formula, because in stereochemistry we have a different representation. Different representation means what? We have a Newman projection, we have a Sohers projection, we have a Fischer projection, we have a flying wedge projection also. So what is the meaning of Fischer projection? I will give you some basic idea. In Fischer projection we represent this molecule by using horizontal and vertical line. This is called the horizontal line and this is called the vertical line. Okay. Now see here, in horizontal line, in vertical line, top of the vertical line we write here aldehyde. Why? Because this is a basic rule. When you completed your 11th and 12th syllabus, then the basic idea of the oxidized and oxidizable group is very easy to you, because such reactions are present in your syllabus. Now Out among this molecule, CHO is the most oxidizable group, and then most oxidized or oxidizable group is must be right down top of the vertical line. Now this is the vertical line, and we represent CHO group on the top of the vertical line. And then after representing CHO on the top of the vertical line, for example here CH2OH, for example here CH2OH, okay, this is like a glyceraldehyde, okay. Now if now listen, if OH is on the right side, this is a chiral carbon, this carbon is this carbon, and this carbon attached to one CHO, here one CH2OH, and if OH on right side, then this represented by capital D. You got it? It means, what is the representation of capital D? The capital D means if OH group of lowest chiral carbon is on the right side. You got the meaning of lowest chiral carbon? This is very important. Why? Because in glucose we have 4 chiral carbon. Out of this 4 chiral carbon, you stop the numbering from aldehyde, then 5th carbon is the lowest chiral carbon, and you see the OH of that lowest chiral carbon. Either it may be OH or it may be NH2. Which one is the highest priority group? You got it? If OH group of that lowest chiral carbon is on the right side, then this isomer is called as the D isomer. So this is referred to as the D-glyceraldehyde. Okay, this is D-glyceraldehyde. And suppose for example, if we write this molecule like this way, suppose for example, we have here CHO, and suppose for example here CH2OH, and here OH, and here H. Now here OH is on the left side, OH is on the left side. If OH is on the left side, then such isomer is called as the DL isomer, and this is the relative configuration, that was D and L. Now dear student, listen very carefully. These are the very interesting and important phenomenon related to even the chemistry. How? As all you know very well, we have a such type of big molecule. This is called as the glucose molecule. Suppose here CHO and here CH2OH. You know in glucose molecule you have a 4 chiral carbon, na? You have 4 chiral carbon. We start numbering from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here H and OH, and 5th carbon is the lowest chiral carbon. You got it? Listen very carefully. This is very important to you. The 5th carbon is the lowest chiral carbon, and if the OH, you see the structure of glucose in biomolecule. You have one biomolecule topic also in biology. You have so many structure of glucose, that is D-glucopyranose, etc., etc. So what is the meaning of D-glucose? What is the meaning of D-glucose? D-glucose means the OH on lowest carbon atom is on the right side, and if this OH is on the left side, then that glucose is called as the L-glucose. L, you know, this is glucon D. You know glucon D very well. What is the meaning of glucon D? D represent what? D represent the relative configuration. So as per my idea, you don't have any problem related to the relative configuration. I know relative configuration, if you wish to decide, if you try to decide what is capital D and what is capital L, it is not a matter of whatever the rotation of this molecule depends on the optical activity. Might maybe happen capital D is positive rotation, capital D show negative rotation, that means rotation of PPL. But capital D only represent on the configuration of lowest chiral carbon. If the OH of lowest chiral carbon is on the right side, then the compound is called as the D-glucose, and if OH on the lowest chiral carbon is on the left side, then the compound is called as the L-glucose. So this configuration is called as the relative configuration. As per my idea, you don't have any problem related with this phenomenon. I hope you keep in your mind, because relative configuration required to you in the biomolecule, which one is the D isomer, which one is the L isomer. D means lowest chiral carbon OH. How to decide the lowest chiral carbon? Like this way, okay? Now dear student, now we are moving toward the next and very important part of this topic, that one is called as the R and S nomenclature. Now what is the meaning of R and S nomenclature? R and S nomenclature system is also called as the absolute configuration. That one is called as the absolute configuration. Now see, what is the meaning of absolute configuration? Listen very carefully. What is the meaning of absolute configuration? Listen, absolute configuration is also called as the R and S nomenclature system. Absolute configuration is called as R and S nomenclature. See, before going to discussing the R and S nomenclature system, I will give you some important relation related with this. This absolute configuration system decided by 3 scientists. The name of that scientist is Kohn, Ingold and Prelog. Kohn, Ingold and Prelog, these are three scientists decide the optical rotation by using relative configuration. Therefore, this system is also called as the CIP system, CIP. What is the meaning of CIP? C stand for Kohn, I stand for Ingold and P stand for Prelog. These are three scientists decide the absolute configuration, okay. Now dear student, absolute configuration is also called as R and S configuration. What is the meaning of R? R stand for rectus. R stand for rectus. Rectus means right hand. R म्हणजे काय rectus and rectus means for right hand. And S stands for sinister. Sinister means what? Left hand. R stands for rectus means right hand and S stands for the sinister means what? Left hand. Okay. Now what is the right hand and what is the left hand? Rotation of PPL. If any organic compound, that organic compound is asymmetric, then after passing the plane of a plane polarized light in that organic compound, then that compound rotate the plane of PPL in right hand side, then that configuration is called as the R. And if that compound rotate the light in the left hand side, that compound is configuration of that compound is S. Therefore, R and S nomenclature is also called as the absolute configuration. Okay. Now dear student, what happened in this case? Now how we decide this? Now I will give you some 3D, 3-dimensional representation of this molecule just to see very seriously. I know one point is very confusing here, one point very confusing. You don't be confused here. See. Now I am representing in front of you one molecule. Suppose for example this is CH. Now in this CH molecule, suppose for example we have this is OH. Now this is a flying wedge representation. This is a OH. What indicate this thick line? This thick line indicate OH above the plane. Above the plane means what? Suppose we have this molecule. Suppose we have this molecule or like this molecule. If OH on my side, if I am observer, it means OH is on my side. It indicates that OH toward the observer, and this represented by thick line. Okay. And if suppose any group away from the observer, suppose I represented here CH3. CH3 means what? I am here, but CH3 is on this side because that means away from the observer. This is plane now. OH is on this side, CH3 on this side. This is away from the observer. And remaining one group is there, suppose for example, and that group is called as the, suppose for example, we represent here CHO. It means aldehyde. Aldehyde is in the plane. So this is very important. This is a 3D representation. This is 3D representation. What indicate this thick line? Thick line indicate OH toward the observer. What indicate dotted line? Dotted line indicate OH away from the observer. And what indicate this? This indicate the in the plane, above the plane, below the plane, in the plane. Thick line means above the plane, dotted line means below the plane, and this means in the plane. Okay. Now this is the molecule. Now my question is this, you know very well the priority sequence rule. How to decide the priority? By using sequence rule. How? You know in E and Z nomenclature, that one is geometrical isomer. E and Z nomenclature, while deciding the E and Z, then first priority depends upon the atomic number. Second rule, if atomic number is same, then priority depends upon the atomic mass number. Third rule, if first atom cannot decide the priority, then priority sequence shifted to the next atom. Then fourth rule or last rule, this one is also very important to you. The last rule is there. If doubly bonded or triply bonded atom is present, then that one is represented by duplicated or triplicated, and in triplicated means that one is called the phantom atom, and so on. Now student, listen. Now suppose for example this is a chiral carbon. Out of these four, which one is got the first priority? OH, because O higher atomic number, na? The atomic number of oxygen is more than the carbon. Then after the OH, second priority go to the CHO, because this case both carbon atom is present, but after the carbon second atom is hydrogen, but here second is the oxygen. Oxygen have a higher priority than hydrogen, na? Then third priority what? CH3, and then finally fourth priority the H. Now listen very carefully. Now I am given you very important, very interesting and something confusing point. Now see OH, then CHO, then CH3. If we see from here, from this side, and if observer is this side and lowest priority group is on this side, that means lowest priority group is away from observer, away from observer. away from observer. You got it? Because H exactly opposite to the observer. Na observer means we see this configuration of this molecule from this side, and H is on the this side. Now it means lowest priority group is away from observer. And if we see the configuration of this molecule from this side, it means that lowest priority group is towards observer. Na if this lowest priority group towards observer, it means that in Fisher projection formula, this is flying wedge formula. In Fisher projection formula, if H is towards observer, it means H is on the horizontal plane. It's okay? And in Fisher projection formula, if H is away from observer, you got it? If H is away from observer, this is observer, this is away from observer, na, it means H present on the vertical line. Listen very carefully. Towards observer, away from observer. If it is towards observer, then H is on the horizontal line. If H is away from observer, write down in notebook, H is away from observer, then H is on the vertical line, means lowest priority group is on the vertical line. This is very important, horizontal and vertical. Okay. Now dear student, now what is the rotation of this PPL? Then first priority, second priority, then rotation is like this. Na rotation is like this. Why? Because you know, suppose consider this is the chiral carbon, okay. OH in front of the plane, समजा तुम्ही बघता मग OH तुमच्याकडे आहे ना, पण CS3 इकडे आहे ना, CS3 is on this side because away from observer, and this is here CHO. OH, then CHO, then this is the rotation is what? Rotation is clockwise. And if rotation is clockwise, then the configuration of this molecule is R. Is it okay? If rotation is clockwise, then configuration of this molecule is R. Now listen very carefully. Suppose for example, if we see exactly the mirror image of this molecule, you got it? Mirror image of this molecule. Listen. If we put here mirror and see the mirror image of this molecule, you know. Now what happened in the mirror image? This is carbon, this is hydrogen S. Here what? Here your OH group, yes or no? This is the OH. What about this is here? This is what? This is here CH3. And finally would put here CHO, okay? Now what about the configuration? OH, CHO, CH3. Configuration is like this. Now the configuration OH, and then first priority goes to OH, then CHO, then CH3. Then this is anti-clockwise. Therefore configuration is yes. If the plane of PPL rotated toward clockwise direction, then the configuration is R. And if plane of PPL rotated toward anti-clockwise direction, then the configuration is S. Okay, and this is called as the R and S nomenclature, and this is the flying wedge formula. Now dear students, which are the important things? Now I will give you the first and very important definition of this topic. That first definition is called as the enantiomer. ENATIOMERS. This is the enantiomers, right? Enantiomers is also called as the antipodes. Write down in your notebook. Enantiomers is also called as the antipodes, or it is also called as the antimorphs. Tumhala, they ask you the question by using any term, either it is enantiomer, antipodes or antimorphs. What is enantiomers? Enantiomers are the optical isomer. These are the optical isomer, right? Enantiomers of the optical isomers, and they have non-superimposable mirror images on each other. You got the meaning of non-superimposable mirror image? Yes, of course. Non-superimposable means what? Suppose for example we represent this molecule like this way. Suppose I write this molecule like, suppose here H, okay, H is on the vertical line, If H is on horizontal, then what's happened we'll see in the next example. Suppose here H, suppose for example after putting the H, suppose here OH, suppose here CHO, and suppose here CS3, okay. The first priority goes to OH, second priority goes to CHO, third priority goes to CS3, then OH, second, third, rotation is clockwise, configuration is R. You see the mirror image of this molecule, what happened? You see the mirror image. Then mirror image of this molecule is like this way. This is the OH, मग तुम्हाला CHO इथं दिसेल ना. This is the CHO, yes or no? CHO, and finally here CH3 and here H. This is the mirror image of this molecule. Then what is the configuration? First priority, second priority, then finally third priority and fourth priority. Rotation is like this way. their rotation is clockwise or anti-clockwise. This is clockwise, this is anti-clockwise, therefore this is R and this is S. Now and if anyone asks you the question, what is the relation between these two, then your answer is these two are enantiomers. Why these two are enantiomers? Because enantiomers are the optical isomer, they have non-superimposable mirror images on each other. Non-superimposable mirror images means what? If we put this molecule on this molecule, baga, suppose you put this molecule on this, CHO is here, but already here CS3 and CS3 is here. This image is called as non-superimposable. Means, as all you know, suppose we have this is cup of tea, yes or no, cup of tea. And if we see this cup of tea in the mirror, this cup of tea looks like this, yes or no, this, like this. And if we putting this cup of tea on this, then the mirror is non-superimposable. Like for another example, suppose this is my right hand. If I see that right hand in the mirror, then right hand looks like a left hand. Now in mirror left hand, you know very well, this is my left hand, this is my right hand. If I put right hand on the left hand, see this thumb is here and this thumb is here. If this image is not superimposed to each other, and such image is called as non-superimposable mirror image. And if any optical isomer which have non-superimposable mirror image, then such optical isomer is called as the enantiomers. You got it? This is the very interesting and very important phenomenon related to you. If anyone asks you the question, what is enantiomers? Enantiomers are the optical isomer, they have non-superimposable mirror images on each other. Is it okay? Now dear students, now we got it. If plane of PPL rotated toward clockwise, then the configuration is R. If it is anti-clockwise, then the configuration is S. This is flying wedge formula, this is the Fisher formula, okay, this is Fisher projection. Now we will discussing all example in the Fisher projection formula. So see here, now the next terms, that one is very important related to this absolute configuration. I will give you some example related to this. You know what is the enantiomers, what is this optical isomer phenomenon, or all these things. Now dear students, I will give you some another example. Suppose I have this type of this molecule, suppose here OH, suppose here CHO, suppose here CS3 and suppose here H. And suppose I have this type of this molecule, suppose here OH, suppose here CHO, suppose here H, suppose here CS3. And if I ask you the question, what is the configuration of this molecule? Either this is R or S. As by considering the priority sequence rule, decide the priority for each atom or groups. Out of these four, first priority go to the OH, second priority CHO, third priority CS3, fourth priority H. Now rotation is what about? Rotation is clockwise. But problem is this, lowest priority group is on the horizontal line. Is it okay? Now what happen if lowest priority is on the horizontal line? Then after looking toward this molecule, if lowest priority is on horizontal line, it means that the lowest priority group is towards observer, it is not away from observer. And if it is on horizontal line, if rotation is clockwise, then configuration is not R, the configuration become S, because when what happened exactly here, थोड़ा सा बारकाईने बघा, जेव्हा लोएस्ट प्रायोरिटी हा हॉरिजॉन्टल असतो, समझ में आ रहा है आपको? जब लोएस्ट प्रायोरिटी ग्रुप आपका हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन पे रहेगा, देन हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन पे मतलब जो भी रोटेशन आ रहा है वो रोटेशन आपको दिखता है, लेकिन एक्चुअल में उसका उल्टा होता है, क्योंकि लोएस्ट प्रायोरिटी ग्रुप आपकी तरफ है, आप उसको उल्टा देख रहे हो. तो जब भी when you have an example in your examination, and if such molecule is there, any molecule, and if in that molecule lowest priority group is on the horizontal line, is it okay? Lowest priority group is on the horizontal line, then you reverse the configuration. Rotation is clockwise, but configuration is yes. Okay, this configuration, it means reverse configuration is what time? See, listen very carefully, write down this. This is very important box here. If lowest priority group, if lowest priority group is on which line? Is on which line? Is on horizontal line. Is on horizontal line. Then clockwise is yes, and anti-clockwise, if anti-clockwise is R. Is it okay? What time this happens? If lowest priority group is on horizontal line. And if what, this is very important, if lowest priority groups is on is on vertical line, is on vertical line. Is it okay? Vertical line means this line, vertical line. Then clockwise what? R, then clockwise R, and anti-clockwise is yes. Is it okay? Clockwise is R, anti-clockwise is yes. Now see, you write down this in notebook. Now what about this? First priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority, clockwise, but the lowest priority group is on the horizontal line, then the configuration is yes, clockwise, yes. Now what happened in this case? First priority, second priority, third priority and fourth. You see first, second, third. Rotation is again clockwise. But lowest priority is on vertical line, therefore clockwise, therefore configuration is R. So this is called as the R and S nomenclature. I hope you don't have any problem how to decide the R and S nomenclature. I will give you so many examples to you how to decide the R and S. Now dear students, now we are moving toward the next one, that is next part of this topic. See next one, now some example. Now till now we are completed, you know enantiomers, you got the definition of enantiomers. Enantiomers are the optical isomer which have a non-superimposable mirror images on each other. Is it okay? And if two molecules have a non-superimposable mirror image, then such molecule is called as the enantiomers, right? Now after the enantiomers, now we are going toward the next one. Suppose for example, next example, I will give you next example. Suppose we have a COOH, suppose here NH2, suppose here H, suppose here CS3. Tell me the configuration of this molecule, tell me. Out of these four, first priority goes to the nitrogen atom, yes or no? Then after the first priority nitrogen, second priority goes to the COOH. Then third priority goes to the CS3 and then fourth priority goes to the H. First priority goes to the nitrogen, atomic number is more. Then first atom is same, but second atom is O, second atom is H. Then second atom have a higher atomic number, therefore second priority, then third priority, fourth priority. What about rotation? First, second, third, rotation is anti-clockwise, but hydrogen is on the horizontal line. Anti-clockwise means what? R. Yes or no? Yes. Suppose for example, we are going toward the next example of this molecule. Suppose we have this is CH3, suppose this is OH, this is CH2OH and this is H. First priority OH, second priority CH2OH, third priority CH3, this is fourth priority. What about rotation? Rotation is anti-clockwise, but horizontal. This is called as the S, and this is called as R and S nomenclature. You see so many examples in your books. You refer to so many books related to stereochemistry. You solve all this example now. And if they are given to you flying wedge formula. If in flying wedge formula, lowest priority group like represented by such thick line means horizontal plane. If it is clockwise, then R, anti-clockwise, then R, clockwise, yes. Okay. And if it is on the dotted line, then you just consider it is on vertical line. Don't change the configuration. The rotation of that molecule is clockwise, then R, anti-clockwise, and yes, in flying wedge formula. आपको समझ में आया? फ्लाइंग वेज फार्मूला में अगर वो थिक लाइन पे है तो ही उसको उल्टा करो, अगर वो डॉटेड लाइन पे है जो रोटेशन आ रहा है वही कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. रोटेशन क्लॉकवाइज इट मीन्स आर, रोटेशन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज इट मीन्स एस. खाली उल्टा कब करना है? अगर ये हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन पे रहा इन फिशर प्रोजेक्शन में, और अगर ये थिक लाइन पे रहा इन फ्लाइंग वेज प्रोजेक्शन में, तो ही आपको उल्टा करना है. अदरवाइज नो नीड टू चेंज द कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. आपको समझ में आया? You got the what time we reverse the configuration? Lowest priority is on horizontal, it means clockwise is S, anti-clockwise is R. Or lowest priority is on the thick line in flying wedge. Only this time we reverse the configuration. If it is on vertical line, there is no need to reverse the configuration. If lowest priority is on the vertical line, clockwise R, anti-clockwise yes. Now we are going toward the next, that one is called as the multichiral molecule. Suppose we have a multichiral molecule. Listen, now I will give you another two definition, that is diastereomers and meso compound. So what is the diastereomers and meso compounds? Now dear students, now I am representing in front of you multichiral molecule. Multichiral. What is the meaning of multichiral molecule? So I will give you the definition of diastereomer and meso compound in multichiral molecule in the next videos. Thank you very much.